Entitled family robs an old age home of their Mother's Day barbecue. Late last year, we had to put our great grandmother into an old age home, purely because of the fact that nobody could really look after her, since most of us were pretty busy and she was fiercely independent. So on Mother's Day, my mother's side of the family, her kids, decided that we will have a sort of barbecue on Mother's Day to give all the old people there a good meal in case their families didn't come. We prepared enough food for roughly 150 people, as we wanted them to feel free to eat and not give them food like a jail would, since there were only 40 residents and they could always keep what's left over for later. It consisted of steak, lamb chops, pork bellies, as well as pork necks, with side dishes like potato salad, noodle salad, here it is basically macaroni mixed with mayo, raisins, pineapple and curry powder, and toaster sandwiches. So we were pretty prepared to let these people have a good time. As we got there and prepared everything for serving, the matron let us know that some residents had a couple of guests over, and if it would be okay to allow them to have some food as well. It seemed like a good idea, and since most of the residents ended up going out that day, we decided that it wouldn't hurt. In came the elders, the families, and then her. She saw the small buffet we prepared and immediately started calling away, and although I didn't hear much of the conversations, most of them sounded like she was talking about the home. About an hour later, 10 people showed up and proceeded to basically raid the platters, some of them even bringing Tupperware bowls to quickly take what they want. This was happening all the while some of the older people were still talking and having fun, too busy to notice that the food is slowly but surely walking out of the door. After the family left, we saw that there were almost no more steaks, pig items, as well as salads, while it turns out that a couple of the older people never got a chance to eat, waiting for the kids to finish up. This does have a happy ending though, as we scheduled another barbecue for the following weekend, just for the elderly residents, since the butcher who heard about this offered us a free order of what we needed. Well, that butcher is certainly a good man or woman. How EP tried to steal my phone and got caught. Now, I honestly wish I was making this up. A while back, I was at a store looking for a Samsung tablet for my friend's birthday. My friend is 9 by the way, and he was spending time in the hospital because he had cancer. I was browsing for a bit when I felt a tug at my arm. What's that in your pocket? I checked my pocket and to my surprise it's my Samsung Galaxy S9. When I say to my surprise, I mean I don't remember putting it in my pocket. But then I remembered I was in a hurry and I must have autopilot put it in my pocket. So I pulled out my phone. Oh, this? It's my Samsung Galaxy S9 phone. Cool! Then he reaches to my phone. I back away a bit. Excuse me, what are you doing? Can I play with it, please? Now, at the time, the kid had a really cute smile, so it was hard to say no. Still, I clenched my teeth and said, "No kid, sorry, I don't normally trust people with my phone." At this, EK starts whining. Please? Honestly, I couldn't stop myself, the kid was just too cute. Fine, you can use it for the time that I'm here. So I hand her my phone. Big mistake. I was browsing a bit more when I found the perfect tablet for my friend. So I was going to go to the kid and get my phone back when I see her walking out of the effing store. My phone in her hand. Luckily, I managed to catch up. Excuse me? The entitled mother says, "Yes? That phone your daughter is holding is mine. Can I have it back?" EK pulls a sad face. But you said I could have it. I said you could play with it for the time I was here. I didn't say you could keep it. EK pulls a sadder face, but reluctantly gave it my phone. The EM reacted negatively to this. Why can't my daughter have your phone? I was not expecting that. Because it's mine? So? You let her play with it, why can't she have it? I said no. I must be going now. I start to walk away. Mom, I want a phone like his one. EM stops me in my tracks. Give me your phone. I was surprised at that. Excuse me? You heard me. Give me your phone now. The EM then tried to grab my phone out of my hands. I keep a tight grip on it. Mom, stop now. This phone was almost £500. Look, you little brat, my daughter has been getting very good grades recently. She deserves a nice phone and your phone is a perfect reward. You were looking at the phone section anyway, why don't you just buy a flip phone? That should be suitable and cheap enough for your needs. Any dumb moron could see I was looking at the tablet section. I tried to explain that I was getting a tablet for my friend and that he was in the hospital. Well, your friend is a clumsy, stupid boy then. Buying him a tablet will just spoil him. He is too old for that kind of stuff anyway. Mom, he is 9. I don't care, goodbye. I didn't notice, but while we were talking, she took my phone. I froze on the spot. I've never been in this kind of situation before, and thus I didn't know how to deal with it promptly. So I did the only thing I could do. I scream. Now, I understand this may not have been the smartest course of action, but like I said, I have never been in this kind of situation, so I hadn't the faintest freaking idea of what to do. Security came over and asked what was wrong. Now, I'm guessing the mum must have heard that the guard was alerted by my scream because she started walking faster to the exit. Security catches up with her, however. Excuse me, mom, but this young man claims that you stole his phone. Is this true? No, he's lying. I bought this phone for my daughter. Unlock it then. EM tries to unlock the phone, but to no avail. Wait, she actually tried to unlock the phone even though it wasn't hers. How stupid can you get? Security gives me the phone to unlock it, and lo and behold, it works. Then security tries to arrest the woman for attempted theft. But before they could, she grabs my phone and freaking smashes it on the ground before trying to make a run for the exit with her little brat following behind. Security caught up with her, however, and arrested her. She got charged with attempted theft and resisting arrest. The store apologised to me by giving me a Samsung S10 and a Samsung tablet for free. So despite the events that occurred, I left the store happy. Well done to you. And Nugget, thank you very much for this story. I really hope Redditor reads this. Well, I just did. Entitled Mum loses it over playground closing for contamination. This happened all the way back in February 2014, so my memory might be a little fuzzy on some details. I'll do my best with what I can remember. I've dealt with entitled spouses while I was a hospital corpsman in the Navy. You know, I'm the wife of an officer, so I deserve special treatment like being saluted kind of spouses. But holy cow, this entitled mum was something else and my first encounter with one. I'd been working at Chick-fil-A while going to college for over a year. I had left the military shortly before then, so this was a huge change for me being out in the civilian world, being a military brat and all. I had a few encounters with some very rude people just trying to get free meals, but otherwise things were fine. One day, a group of kids with their parents entered our establishment for a birthday party. I can't recall if we had been told about this beforehand. We've had people come in before for birthday celebrations, but those were mostly folks that had come in with presents to open while they dined in some chicken, then leave. Not this group though. Enter entitled mother. Just gonna say, those 3 words scare me to death. She came up to the front counter and asked us to set up the tables and such. EM was polite to us at first. If only we frickin' knew what was gonna happen later. But for now, things were calm. Thankfully, the party had arrived before our usual dinner rush. Our restaurant was stationed right outside a huge Air Force base. So me and a few other employees had time to, well, push some tables and chairs together. Easy stuff. I understand the parents were busy making sure the kids stayed together and didn't cause trouble. After that, EM came up to me asking about Chick-fil-A's birthday package. I had no idea what CFA's birthday package was, as ours didn't have one, as I found out after talking to my supervisor. But apparently some restaurants have them, and EM assumed ours did too. She was disappointed finding out we didn't. The next thing EM asked us to do, if possible, was to provide balloons for the kids. I asked my supervisor if that would be okay and was granted permission to give them some. The party had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme, so I tried my best sticking to the TMNT colours with the coloured balloons we have. I made maybe about a dozen of them, took them over to the tables and spent a couple minutes tying the balloons to the chairs. A couple more things EM asked before poop literally hits the fan. I'll be getting to it soon, so hold on to your butts. EM kept bringing up things from the birthday package that, as my supervisor had told her earlier, we don't do in our restaurant. One thing these CFA birthday packages provide is a free cookie sundae for the birthday kid. EM was bordering on being insistent on getting a free sundae for her boy. I thought that cake would be enough. I can't remember if they actually brought a cake with them, but I guess it wasn't for EM. I have a soft spot for kids, and I tend to spoil my friends and family on their birthdays. We still couldn't get them a free sundae, but I decided to pay for it right then so the kid could get his sundae, just to please the kid who was really sweet and polite for his age, not EM. EM was pleased as punch and was oh so thankful for my kindness. The final thing EM asked us to do was sing the happy birthday song for her kid. At this time we were starting to get a little bit of dinner traffic. I asked my supervisor again for permission and was given the A-OK, granted that the customers would be taken care of first and someone would stay at the register. 2 employees joined me and we go out there clapping and singing. The party had been going well. Kids were having a great time and EM seemed pretty pleased that we were going above and beyond fulfilling her requests. Boy, did that not last. Now we get to the bad part when EM blows up. CFA has an indoor playground, much like McDonald's. Some kids were inside playing during the party. Note that not a single adult was in there supervising them. One of the kids, I think a toddler, decided to get, shall I say, creative on the walls with their own special crayon. I believe one of the parents went in to find their kid and found the results, and then reported it to one of the employees. Now, I'm sure some of you'll know how this next part goes. We can't be having kids playing in an enclosed playground without poop smeared on the walls, and as we discovered soon during inspection, inside the big toy and the slide too. Oh, that's disgusting. As part of our safety protocol, we had to get everyone out and keep them out, decontaminate the area, bleach being one of the cleaners, which, you know, isn't safe for kids, and leave the playground closed for around 2 to 4 hours. Like, lock the door and block it off so kids can't get in. EM was livid. She demanded that we let the kids back in, especially her birthday boy, and tried to move the barricade in front of the door, one of those cases that hold shoes. It's his special day and he deserves to play, darn! Well, there was an outside playground just across the street from the restaurant, but I guess that wasn't good enough for EM. We explained to her that we couldn't and that it's not safe for kids to be playing in an area that was just cleaned up using chemicals that could harm them. And, you know, feces had been smeared on the walls, but nope. This was unacceptable to EM. She started screaming about how horrible we all were, pointing to me, my co-workers who had helped set up the party and sing, and my supervisor. We're a bunch of bums who had ruined her boy's birthday. She threatened to call the CEO of CFA and have the restaurant permanently closed. Not just have us all fired, the entire goddamn place shut down. She said a few more nasty things I don't remember exactly before she grabbed her kid by the arm and stormed off. I believe she did end up going to the playground across the street. Also, the other parents took their kids and left while EM was in the middle of her tantrum. Funny thing is that our restaurant was actually closing for a few months for renovations. I wouldn't be surprised if EM drove by and smiled smugly seeing the restaurant closed. Maybe even told her friends how she'd gotten it shut down because of how horrible we were to her and her kid. Not long after this incident, I ended up quitting for reasons not related to this and moving to a different town a half hour away. Never bumped into EM again and never stepped foot in the restaurant whenever I visit. I wonder how that kid is doing, and I hope to God he hasn't picked up his mother's entitlement. The world doesn't need more entitled people, especially parents, who treat folks just barely making minimum wage like poop being smeared on a wall. Wow, OP is absolutely correct. The world does not need more entitled parents. However, if you want to hear more stories about entitled parents, I've created a custom playlist of my top 5 entitled parents videos for you to check out right now. So click on the screen and I will see you over there in a second.